Hey everyone. Before I start, I just want to say if my voice goes out or if I have to clear my throat, I apologize in advance. I'm a little congested, but the Lord heals. So we'll go ahead and get started. The title of today's message is Wolves, and the Bible verse is Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. Wolves are not detected because of inferior costume design. On the contrary, they know their craft and dress themselves accordingly. They've studied the trends and understand the importance of adapting to the sheep's ever-changing preferences and desires. Solid branding is key, and lucky for the wolf, it's never been easier. Wolves know what to capitalize on. Instant gratification makes the short list. Also, pithy tweets and expertly filtered memes can eclipse actual Bible knowledge any day of the week. Social responsibility, always a boon for business. And of course, being your best you, or just being you. Hashtag selfie, hashtag self-love, hashtag self-care, hashtag self. Wolves appeal to the masses. They're not hawking dissensions or controversy. That would be crazy. Controversy might sustain a second-rate blog, but it's not going to fill stadiums. Unity, inspiration, and goodwill are what pay dividends and sell a sick amount of swag. Hashtag caching. Oh yeah, it makes the world a better place and whatnot. Who are we to judge anything or anyone, the wolf says, hoping to counteract any possible discernment. We're just here to spread the love and be awesome. Hashtag I must increase. Hashtag follow me more. Hashtag I say what you want to hear. Unity, used cars, timeshares, spirituality, it makes no difference. They're all just products. And like any salesman worth his salt, the wolf knows the product better than the consumers do. He relies on his creativity, messaging, branding, and personality. Sure, Jesus is discussed, but mostly in an anecdotal sort of way, not in the he is the Messiah, Son of the living God sort of way. That would make Jesus the headliner and bad for business. Wolves draw attention to themselves, their names, their products, and most destructively, their take on goodness and love. With narratives far more on trend than the dusty words of yesteryear. Wolves use all possible means to satisfy their hunger for recognition, honor, status, and wealth. And at a time when the vainglorious behavior is celebrated and self-ambitious looks like high-energy, do-gooding wolves have become harder to detect. But detect we must, lest we be deceived. So how do we do that? For starters, we quit consuming. We stop opting for one-off Jesus stories and spiritual inspirations and go directly to the inspired Word of God. We read His stories and meditate on His Word. We replaced instant gratification with long-term soul satisfaction by allowing Christ to determine our preferences and desires. We reject any message promising ease or lack of resistance as contrary to Jesus' example and message. We learn who He is and who we are in Him. We are chosen, not by wolves to be exploited, but chosen by the true and living God to be with Him now and for all eternity. Oh, I love this so much. This has been on my mind so much lately. There are many tools out here to help us, to guide us to the Word, but ultimately, you must go back to the Word. The Word is what's important, not this pretty picture that's posted online about what the Word might say or what Jesus might have done. Go back to His Word. His Word is truth. It's light. Ultimately, if it's not in His Word, it's not the truth. Anyways, today's prayer focus. Ask God to give you discernment in recognizing wolves or messages from wolves. And questions moving forward. Jesus said, by their fruits you will recognize them in Matthew 7:16. What does that mean? How can you improve your wolf spotting skills? And what measures can you take to guard your heart and mind and loved ones from wolves? Oh, like I said, I love this. I love this. This is so good. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And just remember, always go back to your word. We can give good messages. Even this has good messages. But if it doesn't line up with the word, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. That's the truth. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will be back on here tomorrow. Thank you.